Hello and welcome to another episode of LowEndBox TV. In this episode, we're going to answer the question, CentOS, what happened? You know, CentOS has been a pillar of the Linux community for so long, certainly one of the top distributions by number, by influence, really by any standard. And CentOS it came from Red Hat. It was an independent group that took its mission in cloning Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And really the primary value proposition of CentOS was that you were getting Red Hat Enterprise Linux for free. Until two things happened. First of all, Red Hat acquired, I guess that's the right word, they took over the CentOS project. They brought it in-house. Before we continue, I'd like to highlight one of our community advertisers. RackNerd was voted as the #1 top provider in LowEndTalk's 2020 Best Provider Awards. They offer VPS service in New York, Chicago, Seattle, and Dallas, and have always delivered fantastic value for our community with truly exceptional pricing. I use RackNerd myself for some of my own hosting and for some of the tutorial projects on this channel. I have been very happy with their support and the performance of their VMs. They've garnered a lot of praise and their offers have received many positive reviews in our community. So next time you're looking for a VM, check out RackNerd's offers on LowEndTalk and LowEndBox or visit them at racknerd.com. Now initially there were no changes, but then IBM came along. Now, IBM bought Red Hat, and that was this blockbuster transaction. It was $30-some billion that Red Hat went for. And of course, IBM, after you shell out that kind of money, and that really is a massive transaction, they want to get some return on that, right? They want to justify to their shareholders and to the board that this was a good idea. Well, they looked around for ways to get more revenue and improve Red Hat's income stream. And so they came up with the idea of changing CentOS. And this is where we get into the what happened. Now, there's a key concept here. CentOS previously was downstream of Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which meant that if there was a change in Red Hat Linux that eventually flowed into CentOS, what's happened now is that CentOS has moved upstream of Red Hat Linux. And that is a really significant change. What that means is that development work will be done in CentOS. CentOS is now called CentOS Stream. And the development work done in CentOS will then benefit Red Hat. But that breaks the the CentOS value proposition. CentOS is no longer a byte-for-byte compatible version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. It is a completely different beast altogether. So there has been a swift reaction in the community. There's a couple projects that have started up to recreate CentOS. One is Rocky Linux. That was the first one I think that was announced. And that product has not yet had a release. But the goal is to remake CentOS. And they're going to do the same things that CentOS used to do, which is take the Red Hat packages and recompile them and release them and maintain repos and all that kind of good stuff. That product is not out yet, but will be coming along soon. Another major one that I've heard is Alma Linux, and the buzz I've heard is a lot more around Alma Linux, to be honest with you. That is a product that has been brought out by Cloud Linux, and that is a recreation of CentOS, and that is available now. It is live. You can use it. Now, I've went around and looked at a variety of hosts. I didn't see it on many hosts just yet. I looked at a number of the leading hosts, some of the bigger players, and also a smattering of the smaller ones. I did not see it. I did see, and we had an announcement on LowEndBox that RackNerd has Alma Linux available. You can go into their control panel, install Alma Linux, and it will run. In fact, I've got it up and running here. Let's just take a look. There it is, Alma Linux release 8.3, and that tracks CentOS. I'm sorry, that tracks Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.3. 3. So that's one provider. I'm sure there will be others as Alma Linux becomes more widespread. I'm sure you'll see virtually all of the providers eventually pick it up. I think some of them are just kind of waiting for a sort out between all these different versions. And of course, there are many providers where you can upload your own ISO, and that would be a good way to get started playing with Alma Linux. But from the limited play, I'll be honest, I'm not a CentOS guy. I use it professionally at work, but in my hobbyist life, I am much more of a Debian guy. But from my playing with Alma Linux, if you know CentOS, it is, or Red Hat Enterprise Linux, it is obviously extremely similar because it's extremely the same. One thing I should point out is that IBM did sort of throw the community one bone, and that is that if you are running you'll be allowed, I should say, to run up to 16 systems with a free subscription. And that will allow you to get updates. I don't know if it probably doesn't include actual support in the sense of calling and asking a question, but you can subscribe up to 16 systems to updates and get Yum Update and all that kind of stuff for free. So that's kind of cool. I think that helps out those who are whose interest in Linux is primarily an adjunct to their professional lives. If you're studying to be an RHCE or something like that, you might go and say, hey, I'd like to run Linux at home, and to do that, you need to have some things to play with. Previously, you would have used CentOS, perhaps. Now you can just use RHEL with that 16 server license. That's the state of the, I guess we would say, the RPM ecosystem, or the RPM world. CentOS, Red Hat, and now Rocky and Alma, and perhaps others that will emerge. That's the state as of the second quarter of 2021. It'll be an interesting story to see, and I certainly wish these companies, the organizations that are doing Rocky and Alma, a lot of success in bringing out their new versions. Now, I invite you to comment below and let us know what you think. Are you sticking with CentOS as it becomes CentOS Stream? Are you moving to the free-ish Red Hat Enterprise Linux version? Are you paying for Red Hat Enterprise Linux? Or are you going to Rocky or Alma? I'd like to know. Please comment below. Please also give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And I'd like to invite you to visit us on LowEndBox or LowEndTalk, where we've got the best deals in the hosting industry, views and input from industry leaders. We've got a lot of good technical content and, of course, spirited discussion on all things related to hosting. Until next time, happy hosting.